Kia ora everybody, Stephanie Hunter here from Hamilton, New Zealand once again, and our gorgeous and most talented and beautiful friend from Pai here, New Zealand, Karen Crichton. How are you today, Karen?
I'm really good, really good. So,
hey, Karen.
Yes.
This video, I wanted to shoot this video with you because I'm treating clients down here in the Waikato, New Zealand, which is about 4.5, 5 hours away from you, depending on the traffic and how much, how people are going surfing on today. And we're finding our clients are having very similar, unusual, but common symptoms.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to throw it out there and see what you think about this, okay?
Well, it's really
what I'm seeing coming through the clinic a lot recently, and I'll say of what I'm about to read, I could even recognize 70 to 80% of them happening to me. So I just want to put it out there and see what you come back with, okay?
Yeah.
So here's awesome. Symptoms I'm seeing a lot coming through from people. People are coming in and saying they're doing a lot of teeth clenching. They can't relax their jaw. Wakefulness or wakeful sleep, or feeling like they know they're asleep but they're not. Or am I asleep but I'm not? I am asleep but I'm not. That sort of scenario going on. Struggling with deep breathing. Now this has been a really interesting one. I'm seeing people coming in and I'm saying to them, hey, breathe. And they can't. Shallow breathing only. So it takes a real conscious effort to get them to take a deep breath in and to hold that breath. Let it out, but it's not coming naturally to them anymore. Yeah. Exhaustion, even if they're having lots of rest. I mean, we've had, like a lot of the countries around the world, we've had our lockdown period here in New Zealand. Granted, it's been a lot less than a lot of other countries, but people have had weeks off work doing things very, very differently and not been able to go out there and do much exercise. They're still feeling very exhausted. Top of the head pressure, feeling like people are going around pushing their hands down on the top of the crown. Painful bloating, sore knees, scratchy throat, sore throat. Absolutely no motivation at all. Not even motivated to get motivated.
Yeah. I can relate to that one. Yeah.
Those dishes can just keep stacking up in the pile in the corner.
Yeah.
Just no motivation whatsoever.
Yeah.
Heart palpitations, and that's quite a concerning one for people going, reporting to me that they're feeling their heart is beating out of rhythm.
Yeah.
High pitched ear ringing. Now that one I recognise a lot myself. If it's not the right ear, it's the left ear. The high pitched ear ringing, and sometimes it's not actually in the ear. Sometimes it feels like it's coming from just behind the brain, behind the ear and the brain, I should say. Frequently needing to go to the toilet. Anxiety is a big one, unfortunately. We're seeing that in suicide rates that are climbing.
Yeah.
Body twitches, difficulty in speaking, cold chills, communication blocks or disconnection with certain people. So this is an interesting one where people are going, we used to be such good friends. And now it's just dissolved. And we don't know why. It's just disappeared. We're no longer in the same circle anymore. And no explanation. Hot flushes, craving changes. Now the craving changes thing has been, initially when I first, because these symptoms started to appear to me individually before I started to connect that they have been common in a lot of people. So when it came to the one craving changes, I just put that down, dismissed it almost as being a side effect of the last 2020, the 2020. It's been so much change and discombobulation, your favorite word, Karen.
Yeah.
People are just wanting change and it's brought around these things. But now I'm having the second thoughts about that. Now, what else we got on here? Hot flushes, craving changes. Said there's panicking, nervousness over nothing at all. Just finding that strong people who have never been worried about anything, have been in control of their lives, have been systematically getting things done. Suddenly panicking because maybe the car's going to run out of petrol, yet there's a full tank of petrol in the car. So what are you panicking about?
Yeah.
This is just to name a few. There's I've listed and seen another list as well. Probably like about 60 or 70 different symptoms. So explanation, please. What's your thinking on this?
Yeah, I think what we're observing is, as our world, this beautiful world that we're living in, and we're seeing different things playing out, that as we as humans shift and change our frequency. So we often talk about frequencies because of our Genius Biofeedback app, and also because of our history with healing and everything else. And we know that as our frequency changes, there's always going to be a disenfranchised. So as your body shifts and changes, there's always going to be symptoms as those shifts and changes appear. And so some of those sort of things are also associated with a higher level of intuition And as the pineal gland, for example, starts to open up, which is associated with the third eye, which is associated with the inner seeing eye and the ESP and that sort of thing, is the high-pitched ear ringing, the difficulty speaking, as well as some other symptoms where, you know, wired body, tired mind, dull ache in the head, unable to even hold your head up, you know, that's all sort of associated with increased intuition and intuitive power. And all of these, I feel, I don't know about you, Steph, I feel that all of these are to do with, as we as a humanity are starting to increase our frequency in alignment with the increased frequency of the planet.
In addition to that, it's very, very relevant, all of that, extremely relevant. But I'd also like to add, if I may, we are connecting to each other telepathically a lot more. Even if you're not in the same room, even if you don't know the person. But when somebody calls out for help from Perth, Western Australia, those of us who are shifting into this higher awareness may connect with that call for help and intuitively feel the pain, the shame, the fear, the anxiety of that person. Because as we rise in connectiveness, we are experiencing a stronger connectiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
My cat's not connected. My cat needs to go outside. So talk amongst yourselves for a sec.
Yes. So what I sort of feel is that as we shift and change, it's just a sort of like teething pains. It's a bit like, you know, you go through early childhood with your baby teeth, and as you start growing and increasing in knowledge and size, your teeth start shifting and changing, and it's sort of like teething pains. And I see actually all of these symptoms as just that. And especially, as you said, Stephanie, we're seeing more and more clients, especially with the anxiety and the nervousness, and of course teeth clenching is all to do with that as well, and the struggling with breathing. And it's actually feelings that are actually rising to the surface too.
Beautiful. So that gives us a bit of an explanation as to why these feelings and experiences are happening. Now the question is, what do we do about it?
Well, of course, we're going to say use our Genius Biofeedback app, because it really, really helps, especially when you go into certain frequencies. But there's also other very simple things you can do, like having a saltwater foot bath for 10 minutes, for example, can really help open things up. Going out in nature, walking in the sea, walking in the grass, connectivity. Anything you can add to that one?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. With this shifting and changing going on, it is physically quite exhausting, because our physical body is trying to catch up to our spiritual selves. So please make sure you have good early night sleep. I mean, I find if I go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, I wake up the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning feeling like I've slept 1,000 years.
Yeah.
If I go to bed at 10:45 at night, I wake up the next morning thinking I haven't had sleep. I feel tired and that exhausted. So I'm finding with myself going through some of these symptoms, in fact, most of these symptoms that we've listed here, plus more, is honoring your body, your soul, everything about you, honoring yourself and making sure you rest plentiful. Give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. Don't criticize yourself. Just, you know, as using an example that Karen had as a child, as the teeth coming down, imagine that child just starting to walk. You don't laugh and ridicule that child when it stumbles. You praise it. You give it encouragement. Do the same for yourself.
And so another thing which is vital, and this basically comes back to the basics of health: enough rest and hydrate.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Yeah, hydrate. If we don't have enough liquid within our body, what will happen is everything becomes sluggish and stuck, and your symptoms will become more and more and more acute. So make sure you hydrate. Sorry about all the activity. We have a busy household. And just make sure you hydrate, and that you just keep on that water going into your body. 3 liters a day is optimal. And
please use good quality water, the best you can possibly get hold of. Okay. Absolutely best. One of the tricks I give my clients quite often, actually, and it seems to work a lot for them, is get very top quality water, the best they possibly can get. Okay, get their hands on, but also maybe add a little bit of salt to the water.
Yeah,
turns it into a closest chemical relationship to saline solution. Which, if you think about it, if I came across somebody on the beach who was badly dehydrated and needed medical help, the last thing I should do is give that person a drink of water. What I should do is mop their lips with a towel, with a piece of cloth, and get them to suck on that, because the salt around their mouth will help the salt to rehydrate until we can get a drip into them. Because when the paramedics arrive, or a nurse or doctor or the hospital arrives, they're going to put a drip into them, and the drip contains what, Karen?
Saline. But also it's remembering good quality salt.
Yeah.
So do not use iodized salt. So normal table salt, use either Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, as long as your water is good, your salt is good quality, just like your water, just like anything else you put in your body, get the best quality you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. So remember, rest, hydrate, be kind to yourself, and be understanding to other people. The last thing I'd like to add to that as well is ask yourself, just take some time out, sit down and ask yourself, are these feelings truly mine?
Nice one.
Is this truly mine? Because remember what I said earlier on about the person in Australia calling out for help, Perth, Australia calling out for help, and we intuitively pick it up as we become more and more connected. They're going through an issue, not us. We can send them love and support, but we don't need to carry their pain. I'm hoping this makes sense. So ask yourself, is this anxiety truly mine? Because then if it is your anxiety, you can ask the next question, what am I anxious about? Being in a state of anxiety is being concerned about the future. Being in a state of depression is fears from the past, okay?
Yeah.
Or regrets from the past, or living in the past, whatever we want to terminize it. So if you ask yourself, is this anxiety truly mine? And the answer comes back, yeah, no. Okay. With love and light, I release this anxiety and I send back to the person who's asking for help my love and my support.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we can be very, especially as we start raising the frequency, then you'll start noticing, you're also improved health and things, you tend to start noticing more and more. Because if you're not being sort of like numbed by your food or your alcohol or fill in the blank, if you stop being numbed, then what will happen, of course, is there'll be old anxiety, old depression, like you say, Steph, and all of those things can rear that ugly head until they get released.
Absolutely. And guys, on a last note, laugh. Find something to laugh about. Raise your vibration with laughter, okay? Sometimes you want to click out from this world by watching a movie, make it a comedy, if there is such thing as a truly comedy movie anyway. Or put some music on, so either laugh or dance, but get your vibration up. That's the best medicine besides your hydration and besides your sleep, is to make sure you get your vibration up. So, dance, put the music on loud, sing to yourself. I wouldn't do that to myself. I'd be punishment.
That'd make me laugh if I was singing, I tell you.
So I refer to put it, that's someone else singing for me. I put music on. Just laugh, or dance for 5 or 10 minutes. Just raise your vibrations up. And then when you're in that state of vibration, it's a good time to ask that question, was it anxiety mine? Was the thumping on the back of the head related to me? Okay. Was my teeth being clenched because it's something that I'm going through?
Yeah, and I would also say about music is if you can play a musical instrument or sing or whatever, do that.
Yeah.
There's
a lovely song that was, I believe, came from Sesame Street. I think it was written for Sesame Street. I had it on my Facebook page recently, Karen. Was it Sing a Song? I'm not going to start singing it.
No, I'm not either. So you got.
But if you look up on YouTube, I think it's called Sing a Song. And you listen to the words of that song, you go, you know what? It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. It doesn't matter. Just sing, because it raises your vibration up, and it opens your heart and releases so much tension. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
Buy your neighbour's earplugs if you need to. Just do it. Okay. Any more things you'd like to add to that, Karen?
No, I think that's enough. Enough already.
So be happy, everybody. It's there for us. Be happy. Remember, hydrate, rest, be kind to yourself, Ask if a situation that you're feeling relates to you, belongs to you. If not, release it with love back to people who have sent it to you, and dance and sing. Raise your vibrations.
Yeah, magic. Awesome. Okay, lovely.
See you later, guys.
Au revoir.
Bye.